Hey pretty sweet gang, Mo here, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make some cheesecake filled chocolate hearts. So first of all, I'm going to post the link to this mold because I know that's going to be the biggest question down in the description box, so you'll be able to shop really quickly and easily by just clicking the link, and it's going to take you right to where I purchased this mold. So first of all, you see I already have my chocolate melted here. You can use any chocolate of choice. I am just using some chocolate almond bark, and I'm just going to make 3 hearts today just to show you guys for this video. And I'm just going to apply about 2.5 spoons of chocolate, and we are going to get that spread around evenly as possible into each mold. You could also use the back of your spoon. You can also use a paintbrush that you only use for food to kind of maneuver the chocolate around to coat the walls of the mold, as I'm doing right here with the back of my spoon. These heart molds are pretty deep, and just the way they are made, I love them. They are so perfect for using to fill with other desserts. You can do cheesecake only. You can just use them as like cake pops without the stick and fill them with cake. There's plenty of things that you can fill these with nuts, with caramel. You can just get creative. You don't have to use the same exact filling that I'm using. Today I will be using chocolate cake, cheesecake, and a half of a strawberry. So I'm just going to continue to coat these molds, and you just want to kind of work with your chocolate until it begins to set a little bit. It'll still be melted, but I just wanted to coat to the sides of the molds evenly as possible, so once we remove them from the mold, we don't have any cracking or anything. So I'm a little short on chocolate, so I just added a little bit more, and I'm just gonna, kind of turn my molds and move it around, maneuver that chocolate, get a nice, good, even coat. Also, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put those down in the comment section. And don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you will be one of the first to be notified when I upload a new video. And if you are already subscribed to my channel, welcome back again, and thank you for being a subscriber. I really appreciate you guys. So next I'm going to go ahead, I have my strawberries, they are already rinsed off, and I'm just going to cut off the greens and cut them in half. We're cutting them in half because we are going to be using 3 different fillings, which would be the half of the strawberry, the cheesecake, and the chocolate cake. And so we don't want the strawberries to be too big and have our filling overflow. And then here I have chocolate cake. You can also use brownies. And what this is I had an order for a chocolate birthday cake a couple of days ago, and I always cut off the tops of my cake and I wrap those in saran wrap and I place them in the freezer to use for things like this, for cake pops or just to fill my chocolate desserts and, other things that it can be used for. So I just have I think this may be like a 1.5 inch round cookie cutter. If you have a heart cookie cutter the same size of the mold, that will be perfect as well. And it doesn't even have to be this perfect. You can actually just take the cake and break it with your hand, because you're going to stuff it in the mold. And once it's placed in the mold inside of the chocolate as the filling, nobody's going to see the shape of it anyway. I'm just being extra by using the cookie cutter. And here is my no-bake cheesecake. I have removed my mold from the refrigerator. My chocolate has set, so I'm just going to go ahead and fill with my cheesecake first. And then I'm going to add my strawberry, and then I'll top it off with my chocolate cake. I'm not making these for anyone. These are just for the video purpose. So yes, I'm using bare hands. That's a disclaimer. But if I was creating these treats as an order, I would definitely be using gloves and not touching this with my bare hands. So I can tell I have a nice good amount of cheesecake filling. So I'm going to have to like trim some of the chocolate cake just so that it's not overflowing, so that I will be able to close the dessert with more chocolate. And the backs of the chocolate heart will be a little bumpy. I know a lot of people ask me, like, how do you get the backs of your treats really smooth? I'm not a big stickler for making sure the backs of my treats are smooth because nobody sees the back. The top and the sides are always presented. By the time someone sees the back of the treat, they'll be biting into it and nobody cares about the back, honestly. So I'm just going to continue this step with all three. And then I'm just going to go right in with more chocolate. If you have a little bit of excess cheesecake coming out, you can just use your finger and flatten that. Or maybe a back of a knife or a spoon or something and just kind of try to smooth that out. And I am just going to cover our treats with more chocolate. And I'm going to place the mold back in the fridge to allow the chocolate to set faster. And then we'll get that out and remove these from the mold. And I'm just moving a little slow just so I can like get every crack. I'm not really worried about it being super neat. Anything that spills over on the outside of the mold will be really easy to break off. Or even as you've seen in my previous video with the cake sickles, I actually use a potato peeler if I have any excess chocolate like hanging off on the edges, if it's not smooth, and I'll just use that to kind of like smooth out the edges of my chocolate desserts. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go ahead and check out my designer Rice Krispie Treats video. I use the cake sickle molds, but they're actually Rice Krispies. And so we're going to just repeat these steps for all three. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and pop this mold into the fridge for about 10 minutes and let the rest of this chocolate set. And we're going to remove it from the fridge and pop out our chocolate-filled hearts. Or our cheesecake-filled hearts, I'm sorry. And I'm just going to tap that on the counter just a little bit to remove any air bubbles and to just flatten out the chocolate a little more. So we are back out of the fridge. I thought I was recording when I took the first one out and I was not, but there you go. That's what it looks like. I think these make the cutest little heart shapes. It's almost more of like I guess a bubble heart, if that makes sense. And yes, this mold is a little tight, so you're going to have to pull and work with it. But just be careful and just make sure you kind of just pull the mold, like kind of stretch it to remove it away from the chocolate, and then you'll be able to pop it out. And here I do have on a white cotton glove in case anyone has any questions about that. And I'll also link these in the description. These are great to wear when you're working with chocolate if you have to touch on your chocolate. Because of the oils and the heat from your hands, you can leave fingerprints on your chocolate, and your chocolate can begin to melt if your hands are really warm. So by using the white cotton glove, it protects the chocolate from the warmth of your hand and the oils in your hand. And here, all I did was add some of my leftover chocolate into a piping bag, cut the tip, not too big, depends on how large you want your drizzle to be, and you just want to go and do a fast drizzle across your chocolate hearts. And I just have some little non-pearls. I can never say that right, but you guys know what I mean. Whatever kind of sprinkles you have, and just sprinkle some of those. You can sprinkle them all over. I like sometimes just to keep it simple and do one side of the heart. Sometimes simplicity is the best. You don't want to overdo things. And then I have these cute little lip sprinkles that I got from Walmart that I'm going to add just to add a little extra something to our hearts. Thought these were really, really cute. And you guys, this is it. We are done. Just that simple. It doesn't take long at all. And like I said, it's way more convenient and fast if you already have some leftover cake pieces that you've maybe trimmed from a cake order that you had, or just some cake that you baked previously. And like I said, just wrap that in plastic wrap and keep it in the freezer. And you can reuse that for other treats. We don't waste anything here. We reuse everything that we can. And I'm just going to add these into some cupcake liners, and voila. I think these are so adorable. If you guys try these, please let me know in the comments. They're really simple. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.